Hey. Hi. Happy Monday. Today is January 26th, 2026. Happy New Year. I was just looking at when I started this chapter 3, what we're about to go over, which was December 18th, 2025. And let's see when I finished it. January 12th, 2026. Okay, so yeah, like exactly 2 weeks ago I finished it. Yeah, so it took me like a month, just about, under. But here we are. So let's get into it. Like I've kind of said before, like kind of starting to understand what I'm trying to get at with this, how I want to go about it. So it's really just off the cuff. That's my style. I'm just gonna go over the subjects that the essays talk about and really just kind of read highlights, specifically stuff that I've highlighted along the way. Talk about it and then talk about the tasks and then be done. So let's get into it. This week is week number 3, recovering a sense of power. The intro paragraph says, this week may find you dealing with unaccustomed bursts of energy and sharp peaks of anger, joy, and grief. You are coming into your power as the illusory hold of your previously accepted limits is shaken. You will be asked to consciously experiment with spiritual open-mindedness. Okay, so anger is the first one. The first sentence is first 2 sentences. Anger is fuel. We feel it and we want to do something. I really like that. I feel like that is I can relate with anger, feeling that as an artist, and when I find that I'm trying to move towards what I'm supposed to be doing, I feel these bursts of anger, angry at myself, angry at my circumstances, angry, whatever. So anger is fuel. We feel it and we want to do something. Anger is meant to be listened to. Anger is a voice, a shout, a plea, a demand. Anger is meant to be respected. Why? Because anger is a map. So yeah, she's talking about this idea of how when anger comes up in our artist's path, artist recovery, that it's not something to be suppressed, but something to look into and to listen to and figure out why we're angry about what we're angry about. What are we angry about most of the time? I don't know, what am I angry about most of the time? Most of the time I'm angry about, I guess, I blame like circumstances, or I'm angry, that I'm not doing what I feel like I should be doing. Boom, these different things. Here's a quote here, Duke Ellington. I merely took the energy it takes to pout and wrote some blues. Definitely been trying to do that. Yeah, I've been trying this full-time artist thing, and I don't know what that looks like, but what I do know is that I haven't been working for anybody else, and I've been at home and I've been making art, which I'll show you. You can see some of the pieces here, but I'll show you after we go over this. I'll give you kind of like a quick little tour of what my artist studio looks like now since last time, because last time I was still working mainly in my bedroom, which is just right over there, and working on my Inkworks. So, okay, so anger, using it as a tool. Next essay is synchronicity. Answered prayers are scary. They imply responsibility. You asked for it. Now that you got it, what are you going to do? So yeah, answered prayers are scary. Synchronicity, the idea that as we start to move towards what we feel we're supposed to be doing as artists, and what our calling or part of our calling in life is, as we move towards that things will start to happen. Synchronicities will start to happen in our favor. Little events that seem to be random, but they are conspicuously in our favor and exactly what we need at the time. I don't know, I can think of one synchronicity which you know, for me in this last month was my girlfriend for Christmas gave me a gift card to buy art stuff. And with that, I bought my first acrylics, and that's kind of spawned what I've been working on recently. I've still done one or two ink pieces, but I've mainly been working with acrylics and with texture and joint compounds. So yeah, that was a huge synchronicity, because without that, who knows when I would have gotten into acrylics. So synchronicity, answered prayers, and yeah, now that I have all that, I'm a little scared because I'm like, what do I do with it? I'm trying to sell it. Who knows if I you know, I know I will. Anyways, I'm definitely in that like self-doubt phase, as you can probably tell whenever I talk about trying to make it as an artist. Okay, stuff that I underlined. Okay, couple quotes on this one. Been a lot of helicopters recently. When a man takes one step toward God, God takes more steps toward that man than there are sands in the worlds of time. And that was from The Work of the Chariot. Love that. So yeah, the artist's path a lot is a lot about faith, I feel like, and is a lot about just kind of stepping forward and hoping that it's going to work out, which is where I'm at, hoping that when your feet step down that it's going to land on something solid. So that's what I'm hoping for. Another one, the universe will reward you for taking risks on its behalf. Shakti Gawain. I don't know who the Shakti Gawain is, but she definitely quotes her a lot. Okay, are we still on synchronicity? We are. Okay, here's another one I underlined. Anyone honest will tell you that possibility is far more frightening than impossibility, that freedom is far more terrifying than any prison. That's for damn sure. Again, I'm not even like a month into like trying to make it as an artist. But yeah, just these 3 weeks in, I have so often thought about just like, I don't know, you know, like a 9-to-5 job or just working somewhere where I'm just trading off my time would be nice again. Yeah, freedom is terrifying. So another one I underlined, when we answer that call, when we commit to it, we set in motion the principle that C.G. Jung dubbed synchronicity, loosely defined as a fortuitous intermeshing of events. Okay, so definition of synchronicity. I have learned as a rule of thumb never to ask whether you can do something. Say instead that you are doing it, then fasten your seatbelt. The most remarkable things follow. So yeah, again, this is kind of weird doing this video, I'm not gonna lie, or doing these, because I feel like I'm very much at the beginning of this whole process, even though I've considered myself an artist for, you know, like really all my life, and have done artistic things a lot. Like, this is the first time that I'm trying to make a living off of my art. And so, yeah. My seatbelt's fastened. Let's see what happens. Did I catch another quote here? No. Oh, okay. Here's a couple quotes that I underlined. A discovery is said to be an accident meeting a prepared mind. Albert Georgi. Yeah. Another one. Did you ever observe to whom the accidents happen? Chance favors only the prepared mind. Louis Pasteur. Okay. The prepared mind. Understand that the what must come before the how. First choose what you would do. The how usually falls into place of itself. Okay. If you ask an artist how he got where he is, he will not describe breaking in, but instead will talk of a series of lucky breaks. Remember that creativity is a tribal experience, and that tribal elders will initiate the gifted youngsters who cross their path. That'd be nice. Yeah, be nice to have someone as a mentor. I'm enjoying working on my own, but yeah, it'd be really cool to like work under someone. So, if you're a mentor in the North Phoenix area, then hit me up. We like to pretend it's hard to follow our heartstrings. The truth is, it's difficult to avoid walking through the many doors that will open. Remember the maxim, leap and the net will appear. This is, okay. In his book, The Scottish Himalayan Expedition, W.H. Murray tells us his explorer's experience. I underlined this whole quote, so let's go for it. Until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Concerning all acts of initiative or creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans, that the moment one definitely commits oneself, then Providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would otherwise never have occurred. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of incidents and meetings and material assistance, which no man would have believed would have come his way. Whatever you think you can do, or believe you can do, begin it. Action has magic, grace, and power in it. Oh, and that was from Goethe. Anyways, yeah, I have water in my mustache. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I'm definitely in this chapter right now. I'm working on chapter 4, but I feel like emotionally in my artist path, I'm in this chapter because I'm like, all right, let's go. I'm doing it, so let's hoping it works out. Okay, shame is a controlling device. That's for damn sure. Oh, okay, this is the essay on shame, so now we're on that. Talking about people shaming us when we're doing our art. The act of making art exposes the society to itself. Many artists begin a piece of work, get well along in it, and then find, as they near completion, that the work seems mysteriously drained of merit. It's no longer worth the trouble. To therapists, this surge of sudden disinterest is a routine coping device employed to deny pain and ward off vulnerability. Adults who grew up in dysfunctional homes learn to use this coping device very well. They call it detachment, but it is actually a numbing out. You forgot my birthday. Oh well, no big deal. A lifetime of this kind of experience in which needs for recognition are routinely dishonored teaches a young child that putting anything out for attention is a dangerous act. Yeah, I mean, if you came from a dysfunctional home, which I definitely did, that definitely hits true. It rings true. I definitely used that coping mechanism of just kind of losing interest quickly or dropping off, not wanting to like make a big scene, stay quiet, stay small. This is from Henry David Thoreau. The cost of a thing is the amount of what I call life, which is required to be exchanged for it, immediately or in the long run. Yeah, I feel like that really applies for me as far as working for others or working a 9-to-5 job. Is the cost of that is the amount of life that is required to be exchanged for it. And I don't know, that's a lot of life. 40 hours a week, even just 40 hours a week is a lot of life to give to somebody else. And again, not to say that I won't work for someone else again. Who knows? Maybe I will. Probably will. But yeah, the cost, the older I get, the more that I do it, the higher the cost seems to me, working for someone else versus working for myself. So, okay, continuing on in this shame essay. As artists, we must learn to create our own safe environments. We must learn to protect our artist child from shame. At these times, we must be firm, very firm with ourselves and not pick up the first doubt. We simply cannot allow the first negative thinking to take hold. The antidote for shame is self-love and self-praise. So, yeah. Many years in artistic recovery had taught me just to show up. Next essay is dealing with criticism. Pointed criticism, if accurate, often gives the artist an inner sense of relief. Aha, so that's what was wrong with it. Useful criticism ultimately leaves us with one more puzzle piece for our work. Useless criticism, on the other hand, leaves us with a feeling of being bludgeoned. It's ambiguous in content, personal, inaccurate. So yeah, criticisms. Okay, and then the next essay is detective work and exercise. Okay, this was a fun exercise, which I did do. Let's go to chapter 3. Whoa, I wrote this in cursive. Might be hard to read. Okay, so this is just like 20 questions, I want to say. 20 questions, prompts that she wrote that you just kind of like fill in after. So I'll read a couple of them. Let's do my favorite childhood toy. My favorite childhood toy was my Sega Genesis and my Nintendo 64. Also earlier, my Lion King cup. I had this, and wavy comb. I had this Lion King like plastic cup, yellow cup with Simba on it, and this like Lion King comb that was like had wavy twines, and I don't know, I love that thing. I think about it like a lot. I think about them both a lot. I think they're both in the garage, but and then my Goofy and Disney things, Disney toys. Yeah, love my Goofy stuff. My Hot Wheels and my yo-yo. So those are some of my favorite childhood toys. Favorite childhood game was hide and seek, laser tag, Zelda Ocarina of Time, tag, the pool, chess. Best movie I ever saw as a kid. I put probably 007 Tomorrow Never Dies. I don't know, going and seeing that, it was kind of like the way we did too. It was like with my family, and it just felt like really cool. It was a good time. It was with my older sister who lived out of town. She was in town, and my brother-in-law, and I think my brother too, along with, of course, my younger sister and my family. So it was just cool. Prince of Egypt, great movie. Aladdin, Tarzan, Fievel Goes West. Let's do number 6. If it weren't too late. If it weren't too late, I would start selling my art, learn more languages, travel more, start making money off my art. Yeah. So here we are doing that. It's not too late. Okay, let's see. Let's get a little deep. Number 11. I'm afraid that if I start dreaming, that I'll end up wasting my and other I'll end up wasting my resources and others' resources and time, and will end up in debt and a total failure who only gets it half done but freezes up when it comes down to the wire. Damn, son! But that's for real. That's what I'm afraid would happen if I started dreaming. Let's see. 16. My God thinks artists are beautiful, perfect, part of their plan, the mouthpieces of their truths, prophets and priests and priestesses, holy. Okay, hell yeah. 18. learning to trust myself is probably the most important thing I can do in my life. Something is my greatest work. It is my greatest work. And then last one, let's do my favorite way to dress. This is number 20. My favorite way to dress is like a shaman, like a man of the spirit and of the wilds, like something plucked out of a palace in the jungle. Cool, Morty. Okay, so Erica Jong quote, take your life in your own hands and what happens? A terrible thing. No one to blame. Okay, and then I'll just read a couple quotes from this last essay, which is growth. You're capable of great things on Tuesday, but on Wednesday you may slide backward. This is normal. Growth occurs in spurts. Definitely experiencing that. Have, like a couple days where I'll just be on this tirade of making art, and then a day or 2 or 3 or 4 where I just feel dead inside and out. So making sure to treat ourselves, feed myself nicely, throw out old clothes, get new stuff, do one nice thing for yourself every day, practice saying yes to help. So yeah. Okay, so let's get into tasks. Task number 1, describe your childhood room. What was your favorite thing about it? Okay, childhood room. The one that always sticks out to me is the room in Bear End. I had these awesome blue string lights that I strung up all around, and at the doorway. I was into Spies, 007, Tomorrow Never Dies. Favorite thing about my room, right, as a kid, definitely the TV and the gaming consoles, those blue string lights, my decor. Something I like about my room right now is my ofrenda, which is my piece of art, my art on the wall that I made from stick and leaves. I love it. Cool. 5 traits I liked in myself as a child. I loved going outside. I laughed often. I was always joking. I like to play with toys. I enjoyed playing make-believe, and I cared for and loved my sister, my little sister. Habits, taking a look at habits. Oh, this one was fun. 5 childhood accomplishments. And then 5 favorite childhood foods. 5 childhood accomplishments. 1, I punched Vinay for talking about my mom in the 5th grade in India. Yeah, this kid, he was like, he was a couple grades ahead of me. And yeah, we were out working in the mornings because in India they'd make us go out and work in the mornings at boarding school in 5th grade. So we were out working, and so somehow we got on Yo Mama jokes, and he said one, I think it was something like Your Mama's like a door handle, everyone gets a turn, or something like that. I lost my shit. I remember looking up at the sky, and just like it was just like a little bit past dawn, and I was like looking up at the sky, and I was just like, I'm gonna punch this guy. And so I did. I punched him, knocked his glasses off. He was taller than me, and then like we exchanged some blows. He like punched me in my arm. I punched him, and then we got broken up. And then we ended up becoming best friends after that. Talked and became best friends while I was there. So that was cool. Stood up to my dad. Number 2, stood up to my dad for spanking my sister when I was a kid. It was pretty normal discipline. But yeah, I remember one day like standing up to him. It's like, do not spank my sister. Really proud of me for doing that. And then headlocked my friend for calling my sister a bitch my senior year. That was great. And then, yeah, I told the girl I liked her when I was in India in 5th grade. Okay, let's keep going. Making a list of friends who nurture you. Call a friend, which I ended up calling my good friend Drip. We had a great conversation. Inner Compass. What did I do for Inner Compass? Artist brain activity. Oh yeah, painting with the new acrylics. That was like my artist brain activity. 5 people I admire, 5 people I secretly admire. 5 people. Okay, so a couple people that I admire: my sister, my friend who's also an artist, JR, my girlfriend, a couple of my cousins are on there. And yeah. Cool. So yeah, those are some of the tasks. I'm not gonna go over all of them. And then the check-in, just about morning pages, artist date. My artist date was that I've been going to the dollar store and to Ace Hardware for material and canvases, which felt really cool. I was doing that a lot at the beginning of the year. Just buying a bunch, I'll show you, like a bunch of cheap canvases and working. But yeah, I've not done an artist date in like a week or two. Like I said, I'm at the end of chapter 4 currently. Like I'm working on the end of chapter 4. So I need to do some kind of artist date before I finish it out. But yeah, really good chapter. Really like those exercises, and I don't know. I guess it's been working really because stuff has been getting done. So my eyes. Okay, so let me show you. Ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum.